Well, today it's back to the roof. So with Anna's help here, we're gonna work on membrane. Alyssa is trying really hard to get a video out for you guys. We killed it yesterday with canning and food preparation, and our garage looks much better. I'm a little frustrated because yesterday it was super cloudy. It's a little bit smoky today, but there's no clouds yet. I say yet because I'm hopeful that there will still be clouds coming. Yesterday was probably the perfect day to be on the roof, and it just didn't work out that way. What did work out good is that these screws just arrived yesterday, and so did this screw gun. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that we had one screw gun and we had to purchase another. Well, that's not completely true. Let me tell you a little bit more. With these Makita collated screw guns, they actually have a detachable barrel. So the gun is separate, and this barrel is more like an attachment, and so it's more like a component system. So the gun that we've been using is this guy, and we bought it with the shorter barrel that's able to shoot a sheetrock screw super reliably. They're about 1 5/8" screw, which is what we use for the SIPs. So this barrel is limited to 1 inch and 2 3/16 screws. It's been working fantastic. But as you know, the roof, we ran into an issue with the 2-inch screw. It's not biting into the OSB, which is really frustrating. The problem is we couldn't shoot a 2.5-inch screw, and we couldn't find anything that was 2 3/16. I don't even know if a screw that length is manufactured. So the next move up was a 2.5-inch screw, so we needed a new barrel. The problem is you can't buy a barrel quickly. You can get them from Makita for the same drill. Just buy this barrel, take it off, put it on this drill, and now you can shoot a longer screw. So now we can shoot 1 3/4 up to 3-inch. People say they shoot 3-inch deck screws in this, no problem. The frustrating but reality of supply chains is that often it's easier to buy the entire product than it is to buy accessories for the product. We also had a situation where I dropped a piece of plywood on the collated screw gun and broke off the belt clip, which really told me we should have a backup, because without that collated screw gun, we'd be in bad shape. So I said, you know what, let's just buy the whole gun with the barrel that we need, and now we both have a backup and we can shoot longer screws. The other issue, if you recall from the phone call that I had with the company whose membrane we're using, is that we need to fasten the membrane under the overlap and at the top of the sheet. They label that as a steep pitch roof, which is anything over 2 and 12, which we all can chuckle at, right? But we need to be fastening that. And so I needed to buy either cap nails or cap staples. And they basically are a nail that goes through a small piece of plastic that acts like a washer and distributes the fastening force over a larger area. So a staple, obviously very small. A cap adds a little bit more pulling force. Because we have so far to go on this house, including the membrane and house wrap, I thought, you know, if we could find a semi-automated way to do this, that would just be better. A neighbor is actually sheeting his roof right now, and he decided to just buy cap nails and pound them in by hand. But his roof is a 3 and 12 pitch, so he's just walking on the roof. So I thought to myself, what's out there? We went and did a little bit of research, not a ton, and we found that there are air products, like an air stapler or air nailer, that are cap nailers, and there are also airless products. Given the fact that we're up on the roof, dragging an air hose across the roof is not ideal. While it might be faster, maybe, I thought, what if we could find something that doesn't require air? And that led me to this product. It's a hammer tacker that has a cap stapler in the body. And there's a small trigger that you use to advance the caps like this. And then you use it just like a traditional cap hammer tacker. And you hammer tack, and it drives the staple and the cap all at one time. This tool should be really helpful tacking the membrane to the sheeting. Obviously with no air, it's easy to use, and you can reach out and use it. I think that's another important thing, because we're reaching quite far across the membrane on a steep roof. On a shallow roof, who cares? The other advantage is that this is perfectly well suited to house wrap and should make the house wrapping process go super easy. So the goal today is to go across the roof and add in the fasteners to lock down the sheeting on the roof, and then come behind and membrane anywhere where sheeting is already present. There's a ladder on both of those cleats. This is your actual on-off switch. You'll get a buzzer. Make sure that's not on the starter. This is forward and reverse. The boom controls are on your right there, and then you have to push the button down to tilt the forks. So just a couple things that you could do to help is unload the plywood. Onto those sawhorses is fine. I can lift that over there with you, the trip pieces. And then we'll have you chalk line them at 2 feet. Okay. So if you could do that. You want to set your end down? Sit down. Good. So the chalk line is hiding back here, and a tape measure and a pencil. And then there are 6 sheets of material that we need to actually swap with the loft. So in the living area is 2 sheets of 3/4. In the garage is 2 sheets of 1/2 inch OSB and a sheet of 1/2 inch treated plywood and something else. And all that needs to go into the loft, and then 6 sheets of that plywood up there needs to come down. Don't push the button. Tilt me back up. So we actually need to move because this is not going to be far enough. So let's boom in. Well, she's looking naked right now, but hopefully in a couple of hours that'll all be waterproof. Should be good there for a while. So this is what we waited. 2-inch screw. Here's our plywood, our furring, and our OSB. So if you look, see the screw definitely penetrates the OSB. There's no question. But what I didn't realize about these screws is that they begin to taper off here in the last about 3/8 of an inch of the screw. So there's no threads here on this kind of cutting tip. And that screw does not seem to be biting hard into the OSB. So we've moved to a 2.5 inch screw, which has full thread contact, and it will penetrate into the SIP, but that's okay. So this guy will have over 1/2 inch sticking through the OSB, but the goal is to make sure that we've got a very positive bite. Because as we put the roofing on here, it will be relying on the fasteners through the plywood here to keep that roofing, the substrate, and everything on. The good news is the roof is really steep and it's a cold roof, so it's highly unlikely that we will have snow load, but there's always that chance. I do wonder a little bit if this issue is compounded by a couple things. One, the thickness of the screw. So these are a number 8 screw, and this is, I think, a number 6. Oh, it's a number 10. So this number 10, we were actually using these to pin the corners. We actually had some 2.5 inch number 10s, and you can see that they suck right through the face of the plywood. So that means that these screws are getting enough bite to really hold that plywood solid. The other screws we were using are number 8 2.5s, and they were doing the same thing. But I'm wondering if there might not be a factor here where the clutch on the collated screw gun is not engaging. So even though the screw is basically inserted, it's still spinning. And that, in most cases, is going to give you kind of a stripped out sensation. So I guess let's test it out and wish or hope for the best. That's nice. Definitely has the ability to bury the head, so let's see what the collated gun does. Very nice. Good so far. Oh yeah, nice. Well, that's about 150 screws per row, which is what we calculated. Actually, it's a little less than we calculated because we were planning on doing 6 inches on center on the edges and in the field, even though that's probably a little overkill. So that's good. And I thought we had one screw that stripped out in 150. And now I think that the screw hit another screw on its way in and got blunted. It's a pretty good ratio, I'd say. 1 out of 150. I can work with that. Can I trade you for a different piece of drip edge? I forgot this is the piece that I had cut a sample off of, so it's under 10 feet.
Ow.
Sorry, got it?
Yep.
Okay. This one should be a full 10. I will need that bit, unfortunately. Got it. Thank you. Huh. Coming up. Whoop. So I'm gonna pull a measurement on this, and I may have you cut new membrane because this one came up short. And these are cut, I think, I'm gonna pull a measurement, but if they're short, I'm gonna have you cut new membranes for this side.
Okay.
I'm not sure why this is short, so I'll let you know. 29 feet 4, yep. So I think this piece just got cut short. Well, I'll try a couple more pieces, but since we have the square footage of material in the future, let's cut them to 354 inches.
Okay.
354. Well, so far, everything is going really smooth. The cap stapler works great. Man, I don't know why we didn't think of doing that earlier. Guess we just didn't realize it was an option. Feeds nice, staples great. Awesomeness. Look forward to using it on the house wrap. So I think it's time to get some work done. Only have half of this roof to go, and then probably 70% of the other side. Should be done by lunch, right? Wait, I haven't even had breakfast yet. I thought you were gonna do a cloud dance.
Didn't you see them?
Oh, I see a couple clouds.
Yeah.
Keep dancing, what are you doing? I'm ready to move.
Okay.
So I think I'll come down and take a break. And then we'll need to put up another drip edge and more mesh. So I might as well I'll measure it real quick. I think I can only put about 3 membranes on before I run into that, so. Boom in.
Oh, I like what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys know what that means. We haven't come up with a name for this. Is it Smoothie 30? We'll call it Huckle 30.
Why branch out?
Right?
I hope this blended enough.
Oh, it's nice and
If it gets
thick.
chunky, I'm gonna have to go reblend.
And what's this concoction?
Huckleberry. That's huckleberry. My secret ingredient, some coconut oil. And I won't think we tried to poison her with coconut oil, will she?
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Wow, it's so rich looking.
I know, right? We used all our huckleberries, so I had to get them out of the freezer.
Yeah.
But we had some in the freezer.
Good problem to have.
The RV is just as hot as it is out here,
No doubt.
so I might as well work. Or turn the air on. I've just been suffering instead.
Oh man, thanks for tolerating that.
So, got a video out today, guys. It's been
All right.
a few days.
It has been. Good job.
So, I think the plan is maybe after this break,
Yep.
maybe I'll go help you on the roof.
Yeah.
Well, break's over. Smoothie was delicious. I'm gonna try to push and get the rest of the membrane that I can get on this side. And then Alyssa's gonna come out, I think, and help me try to get the rest of it sheeted. If we can get all the sheeting on, I feel like that puts us in a really good spot. They're forecasting triple-digit heat on Monday, which could be the highest temperature we've ever seen on this property. Because usually we're about 10 degrees warmer than what they forecast, which means we might see 110 on Monday. What in the heavens? So we've got to get this stuff on here. I'm afraid that, so the membrane I put on earlier before I braked, it has been sitting in the sun for about an hour and a half. I know, not a 15-minute break. So I'm worried that moving that ladder on that membrane is going to be a bad deal. So I asked the building supply store if they thought the membrane would tolerate the ladder moving around on it. And they're like, oh yeah, you can walk on it. It's really durable. It is semi-durable, but even the harness, the lifeline banging around on it has the ability to puncture it and do damage. So I guess time to go just face the music, see what happens here. So Anna was doing her cloud dance earlier, and maybe we did dance a little hard because we're not getting clouds, but that is a monster thunderhead. Anna, yes, keep doing the cloud dance. Send text message to Anna.
What do you want to say?
The cloud dance is working. Keep doing it.
Ready to send it?
Yes.
Done.
Nice. Pretty sure a screw just went in the screw. Can figure that out. I'm taking a screw. Holy mackerel. No way. I just heard thunder. Look at that. Hear it? Oh my gosh. My gosh, guys, that's such a big thunderstorm. Please don't rain. For the love of God, no. So I can't really do any more membrane because the winch that we're using to pull the panels up the roof is attached to the sheeting where I would put the membrane. So I think it's time to see where Alyssa is. And the bad news is that thunderstorm's nearly passed. It didn't rain. Good news. Bad news? There's not very many clouds behind it, so I think the sun might come out. Dang it.
Guys, guess what I found? Oregon grapes. Aren't those beautiful? They don't taste like grapes. They're kind of like tart, I guess is the right word. I'm hoping one of these years I can collect enough to make just 1 half pint of jam. But that's not a project for today. And believe it or not, they grow right smack next to our house. Pretty cool. Uh-oh, battery's dying.
Again?
Video's live.
Am I ready? No.
Okay.
Do we need to do it? Yes.
Okay.
Will I help you? Yes. It's so freaking humid. I feel like I live in Missouri.
I will take this. I'll take sweat over sun. I hate the sun.
I want to move to the deep Arctic.
This is Jesse in a good mood despite
My
working
inner
his
polar
butt off.
bear is a little peeved at global warming. Yeah, I'm ready to put sheeting up. We have to because I can't.
You're ready now.
Yeah, I can't put any more situation out there because of things in the way and stuff. So.
Guess I will change.
You get to join the club.
They didn't watch what we watched last night. They don't understand that reference.
They understand that. That's plain English. That's global. You could be in the middle of the jungle and be like, and everybody knows what you mean.
That's quite true.
Get suited up and join the fun. Hey, Alyssa Bear's gonna come get sweaty.
It's cooler out here than in there.
Really?
It's so hot in there. Because it's cold off out here.
It's gross. Wow, I see Rain over there. Hey, Rain, you should stay away.
Guys, this is really exciting. Anna's operating the forklift, so Jesse and I get to go up in the basket together.
We need to turn just a little bit to the right, just a little bit. Try turning the wheel.
Pretty soon there'll be a family eating dinner in through that kitchen window. We're gonna make it. 6 inches. 4. It's really nice that Anna's here because it'd be very challenging for me to get up into the bucket now with the ladder.
True, she showed up at the right time.
She did show up at the right time. Anna's good at that. Two more rows, guys, 2 more rows. It's 7:30 right now, so probably quit work in about 8:30, 8:45, and then we'll have 2 rows and a little shorty row to finish in the morning.
Well, we're pretty much out of light. We're both freaking exhausted. And we've got this little panel to go. Last panel. Anna, are you still down there? Oh man, let us go home. Take us home, Scotty. Down.